Music and food, take one. Hi everybody, I guess, of what everybody else does on YouTube, Instagram, TV, whatever. We're quarantined, just like everybody else. My wife and I love to eat and drink and listen to good music, and all those three things are gonna come into play here in short order. I'm gonna start with what we're having for dinner this evening. This all started yesterday. We had a beautiful piece of pork shoulder. You can get 2 to 3 pounds if you want. You need some spices. We like paprika, brown sugar, I know that's not a spice, cayenne, salt and pepper, garlic powder. I'm leaving something out. What am I leaving out, Heather?
Dry mustard.
Dry mustard. So rub all that on there. Got a beautiful little spice combination. Preheat the oven to 300 degrees. You throw it in a nice roasting pan. About 6 hours later, you get this beautiful pulled pork. Like you see here, we even made some homemade flour tortillas because we're having pork tacos. Clearly, you can do sliders, and there's a multitude of other dishes you can do with this. Always good with a little fresh cilantro, too. Moving on to what is probably the most important component to my meal is what we're going to have with them this evening, because we like to pair wine with our food. Who doesn't? It's not a unique idea of ours, believe it or not. We're doing Lambrusco. Lambrusco from Tenuta, Perdezana. This is called Gibe. Beautiful little lightly sparkling red that hails from the northern central region of Emilia-Romagna. This wine can be found and it is made in and around Modena. Modena, if you're not familiar, is where balsamic vinegar comes from. Not too far down the road, Parmesan Reggiano, and even closer is something pretty amazing like Ferrari, Maserati, Ducati, just to name a few things. It's kind of the place where all things good come from. If you enjoy life, go to Emilia-Romagna. Anyway, I'm rambling. The wine itself is made from a beautiful little varietal called Rossa, and this will be a medium weight dry red wine, even though it's sparkling. Any of you have ever had that horrible hangover from the late 70s, early 80s? This is nothing like that college crap Lambrusco. This is the real deal. You'll enjoy it. It's food friendly. It's very good on its own. Why I chose this, with this beautiful, rich, fatty, spicy pork, the tannin, the beautiful heavy fruit in here, the acidity is going to be a great foil for the pork. And to the palate of this, I would say you're going to pick up notes of plum, black cherry. There's a little bit of a spice to it, an excellent backbone of acidity. And don't freak out when I say that. It's acidity that's pleasant, and it gives something for the fruit to hang off of. So it's balanced, like a bittersweet chocolate. You don't eat the chocolate because it's bitter, and you don't eat it just because it's sweet. You eat them because they're both there together. And that's what I love about this. Beautifully balanced, simple and fresh. And the best thing is, or maybe it's not the best thing, but one of the good things about it is a little lower in alcohol than most other red wines. This is hanging around 11.5%. Most red wines these days, 13, 14%. It's a small difference, but if you have more than one bottle, it's a big difference tomorrow morning. For the wild card with this entire pairing is music. I like a soundtrack with my dinner, or just like a soundtrack in general. To that point, since this is such a fun and informal kind of pairing, I wanted music to match it, which is a little harder than I thought it would be. It's mood dependent, but I decided to go with this. Thank you, my lovely assistant. An album by the Frighteners. If you don't know the Frighteners, and maybe you do, maybe you don't, it's an amazing little mashup of dancehall and roots reggae, I would say from the mid-late 60s. It's brilliant. It's a group from Brooklyn, and I promise you they pulled it off. It's really a lot of fun. It's recorded in mono, and it kind of brings you back to like nostalgic, simpler times. If you're not as old as I am, then you're probably just gonna like it because it's really good music. Anyway, looking forward to cracking open this, putting that in my mouth and eating it, and then listening to this at the same time. Should make for a fun little respite from all this COVID-19 talk and news. Peace, be well, thanks.